And Amy?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So, I think there's one person I'm not sure who it is, so I'll just say a little bit about who I am. My name is Amy, and I'm an art therapist and a mom of 3 boys who very reluctantly do art with me, so I might have one of them join. But I just wanted to be able to offer something out into the world during this totally crazy but also very beautiful time. Hey, Jonah, are you coming back? Come on. Hey, Elliot and Gavin, there's absolutely no screens right now. This is not join. Don't you love this, you guys? This is either join me or go play outside. And you have 10 seconds. I'm going to have to take your screens away from you on live TV. This has been really fun. So what we're going to do today is a simple process called making a mandala. And all you need, don't stress about materials. Like we just have like scratch paper, printer paper, whatever, all the way to like, I'm going to use my little cute sketchbook that I keep. So whatever you want to use for paper is fine.
You can also do like stickers.
This is Jonah, my youngest son and assistant. And yeah, you can do stickers. Come on over then.
Yes, stickers.
And I might scoot this out of the sun. I'm like burning up. So for materials, it's okay if you just have like ballpoint pens and pencils or whatever you just have in a drawer. It's totally fine.
Where's my coffee over here?
Okay, so Jonah's going to use markers. We're all going to use different things. And I just wanted to say that the reason we're doing mandalas, I want to say just a little bit about that, and then we'll start drawing, is because they are super calming. It's basically putting artwork into a circle. I could give like a semester lecture about mandalas. I have a lot to say about that. If you have questions, you can definitely unmute and ask them. But otherwise, well, let's just get to art making and we can kind of talk while we're doing that. I thought it would also be nice to just start with a collective deep breath and maybe more than one, just to sort of like bring ourselves down into the space. You guys want to take a deep breath with me?
No.
Laughing helps too.
My nose.
That's okay. Oh look, Elliot's joining. Lean in. Hi. Okay, so you do not even have to trace a circle to get started, but I like to trace a circle. Just it's like a really nice, fun, way to start. So it's fine to if you're gonna use Sharpies, you need to use 2 pieces of paper.
Okay, what about you?
I'm gonna do it in here. Thank you. Okay, so go ahead and trace a circle onto the paper that you have or whatever you're working with, or draw one.
Ooh. But tracing something would be easier.
It's just nice to start with like a nice circle. Circles are calming and centering. They're also
it's like really small circle.
It is, well, use the bowl. I brought a bowl so you have a big one. Here's an interesting little note while you guys are tracing. Oh, Jonah's going to do a style that he likes to do. Do you want to tell about it?
No, it's just how I'm doing it. Okay, I messed up pretty bad.
Will you talk about it? And hold it? So one of the things I say every time I'm starting art therapy with a new client is, guess what? There's no such thing as a mistake in art. So Jonah thought he made a mistake. He's also my little perfectionist. But you can start over if you need to. This is all about self-regulation. Whatever helps your anxiety stay calm.
A lot of honey.
So anyway, the other reason that circles are really powerful symbols and ways to work for us as humans is because, did you know, and a lot of you who are moms out there probably can recognize this, that every human, every neurotypical human who starts drawing, as they start to draw people are little circles with arms and legs sticking out of the circle and big eyes and a mouth. So the circle is very much a representation of self. So it kind of has a special energy of holding your self-expression, your feelings, in what it doesn't matter if you're thinking of that specifically when you draw into the circle, but it in kind of looking and processing afterwards, when you look at the circle, you'll notice a deep connection to self. So I actually did a thesis about this if anybody's real interested.
Can I draw whatever I want?
Yeah, so you can draw. You can start. You can all start. You can draw whatever you want. Sometimes I just say to people, just fill the circle. Or some people have ideas. Jonah has a very specific idea, which is why he's starting for a third time. But he's, I don't know if you can see that. He's tracing 3 different size circles and making kind of a target, which actually can feel really good when there's stress, chaos, anxiety, fear, frequency around us, because a target like really brings your focus into
What I'm gonna do is this one.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want. I think I'm gonna use Sharpies because they make me really happy. Sharpies are the best. And I have some watercolors I might add in too. And so basically
you have to trace the
paper becomes it holds whatever. It's like a stamp in time of your emotions and your thoughts. And we call it in art therapy, we call it sublimation, when we're taking what we're feeling and experiencing and putting it into the paper to hold for us. So it's a really beautiful way to deal with overwhelm. Yeah, that's great. There's no such thing as a right way to do this.
It's called making art.
Well,
it's called creating.
As long as you're creating and expressing, there's no wrong way to do it.
You don't have to create. You can copy off of someone else's. But you don't have to.
Well, it doesn't have to be original, you're saying?
Wait, are we going to show everybody ours? Or no?
You can have the choice to share your mandala.
I'm going to want to.
You do want to?
Sure.
Oh, good. Okay, where'd my
I'm trying to like trace that.
I think everybody, by the way, should have a cute little bag of favorite art supplies. I have about 100 of these, so that's why the kids are laughing. This is just the one I grabbed this morning. I think I'm going to use some gel pens. So,
gel pens.
If anybody wants to share what you did so far, you can hold it up too. Do you want to tell everybody about sand mandalas?
No.
Okay.
They probably already know. If they don't know, they have to do some research.
Okay, if you want to learn about sand mandalas, you have to do your own research. Basically, mandalas have been used for meditation for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Tibetan monks would create sand mandalas, and the practice would be, there would be these intricate, amazing, beautiful designs, and then they would just let the wind blow the design away. So it was about letting go, being okay with that. I am noticing.
They also put them in museums, like the art museum in Denver, but they put it in a glass container.
Yeah.
Mom, are you guys live on Facebook?
Live on Zoom, yeah.
Zoom, what's that?
It's a currently very popular video platform where we can have collaborative experiences. I wonder if anyone's noticing, so the way that you fill the circle, it gets really interesting because especially when you're feeling like things in the world are out of control, you might notice yourself kind of organizing the circle. I'm already doing it. And I know that, and I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just kind of what's happening.
I didn't realize that yellow and pink exist.
Well, with markers, they can kind of do that.
No, with Sharpies. I didn't even know Sharpies could do it. Well, Sharpies are, I only made a little bit of red, so that means it will color into the purple, which is good. Look, they're so loud.
Does anyone notice as you kind of drop into the art making and start to get into a flow state that it's kind of helping you calm the nervous system and maybe even breaths without even being aware?
wants to come in.
We'll give her a minute.
She's probably gonna break. It's been okay. She's all
Right, I'm gonna trace another little circle. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to add, you can unmute and speak up.
That's cool, Mommy.
Thanks.
Rather than just like coloring out. Mommy, I said there was like barely any red, but then at the end I was like,
Oh.
look at that. Hi. Gavin can come. No, come. Gavin, come. Gavin has to do it.
All right, can you check on Kaylee, please? Just lean and say hi to people. I got a middle schooler to go on screen. You're pretty special. Lean in again. I don't think Bruce saw you.
Wow.
I know, isn't it great?
Ow!
Oh,
did it
walk
to
away.
No, we both
Go.
did it to each other. Clapping your ears is weird. Clapping your neck hurts.
Oh, another kind of cool thing you might notice.
Hey, Mom, I made a face.
You might. It's funny. I was going to say you might notice that you're not even on purpose making certain symbols that you didn't realize you have a special connection to, but then as you look back, you're like, oh. Or another thing that happens is you might make like groupings of things in a certain number.
Wait,
and
Mommy, can you show me
it's really,
You're so loud.
you know what?
She's like,
Oh, there's Kiki joining in. She's coming in. Hi, Kiki, wherever you are. So
hi.
you might even notice that if you have like groupings of something, like dots that are in a design or something like that, that you have a certain number, and a lot of us have a number that just feels really good to us. And a lot of times, well, sometimes it's like a magic, like a sports number or lucky number. But a lot of times,
I made a 7 too.
when you're drawing, it will oftentimes be the number in your family of origin, or perhaps a number of siblings if you have a really big family. I'm looking at you, Diane. So like I have 5 people in my family of origin, and I do things in 5s all the time. It's just a little interesting thing about art making.
You're right, Amy. I have 8 lines on mine. I didn't know that I had, but
all the time. There's so many magic things about mandalas.
Is that Gamma?
No, that's bamboo.
Oh.
I know the screen. We're looking at a tiny screen.
I look like Grandma Bama?
Yeah.
Distance, right?
Thank you.
Do you guys want to? Oh, look, Jenna's joining.
Jen? Who's that?
Jenna.
Jenna, like,
Auntie Jenna.
we stayed at her house, and then we went to, like, that park.
No, didn't she hurt herself at the
Okay, so we're live with everybody, so let's not discuss people's personal business unless you're just trying to remember who somebody is.
I am.
Okay. All right.
I don't know who you're
So,
talking about.
if anybody wants to unmute and say anything or share what they have so far, do you guys want to share what you have so far?
I'm not done. Once I'm done calling in again.
Oh, Jonah's doing. It's kind of hard. It's so sunny here. It's probably hard to see. No,
Mom, we can just.
So I wonder how many of you are making either Target looking designs or things that kind of organize or square the circle, as we call it, because it's natural for us to want to just like calm, organize life because it's so crazy right now. So it's a really healthy way to sublimate that. Wait, why are they on? I'm gonna use watercolor. Sometimes a lot of people. Okay, this is like a side note. If anybody loves watercolors, this little travel set of watercolor paints is probably my favorite thing that I have.
Wait, are
that I
we
own.
muted?
Little tiny, really nice cakes of watercolor, and the little brush is built in, and you mix colors in the lid. I actually need to get. Do you want to go get me a little thing of water,
Yeah.
please?
Bless you.
Hi, Amy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Kiki.
That's Karen.
Guys, hi, Joe.
There she is.
Hi.
I didn't have that last number 1, so I walked Gracie, but I'm back. So just catch me up pretty fast. I've got all my supplies. What am I supposed to do in 1, 2, 3?
If you could trace or draw a circle, you probably don't have time for a real big one if you want to finish it with us, but if you want to finish it later, you can go big.
Okay.
And then we're basically just filling the circle because the paper will hold our emotions, our thoughts, our stress, whatever, to get out of our bodies. So we're
Wonderful.
So there's probably, I don't know, what do we have, like 10 or 11 people or something?
I bet you do. How wonderful to do this, Amy. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to do it. I wish I had more. I wish I wasn't trying to rehab
we can do this
and
like
sell
this
a
could be
house
like a
right
family
now because
thing.
I would be just doing this all day. But that's kind of what's taking up all my time.
Hi, Joe. I see you in your pretty kitchen. How are you? Is that Joe? No.
Oh, no, I'm Joe's sister.
Oh, you look like Joe. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, thank you.
Her and Jonah did the same thing.
What?
You thought that Aunt Boo was Gamma.
Does she look
Well, they
like
are
she
sisters.
got older and she looked more like
That happens. I know that happens. Okay,
I'm
Miss.
actually younger than Aunt Jill, but
I think he means like, it's been 2 years since we saw you.
oh, I thought you meant older than Joe.
No, like, I don't know. I think that's, I don't think you look like.
Miss Amy, I drew my circle. What do I do with my circle?
I think it's because
Okay,
I'm in the sun.
So you can fill your circle any way you like. What materials do you have, Karen?
Oh, I have my watercolors, my paints, my crayons, my markers. I'm ready.
Okay, so actually, I'm going to teach you guys this other cool thing about art therapy
Mommy, I'm done.
while I answer
Almost.
Karen's question, which is the materials you use do make a difference in your emotional state. So we call it the scale of regression. So on one side of the spectrum is the more rigid materials like colored pencils and Sharpies and stuff that's thin and controlled.
Okay.
And on the other side of the spectrum is like really wet paint and clay and stuff that's super messy. So when you have a situation where, like if you feel a little chaotic and dysregulated in yourself, it can feel really good to pick like thin Sharpies or something that's very controlled.
Okay.
If you feel sort of tight and bound up, like you almost can't access your emotions or you're a little dissociated, it might feel good to do watercolors. Something that I do almost every time I make art is a combination. I like to sort of start with the more controlled materials and then add paint. So like I'm doing Sharpies when I'm painting it in with watercolors.
All right. And you just do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
All right, Miss Starlin.
I was telling everybody that there's no such thing as a mistake in art. This is a very process-oriented way of seeing. And I'm not so worried about the product, but it can be fun to share and look at the product
Mommy,
too.
I messed up. I accidentally. Mommy, I want to do.
Make it into a card or something.
I got it.
If you want to do watercolors,
Same two exclamation
so
points. Okay. Can I share it now?
sure,
Okay.
Elliot sharing.
Well,
I'm still painting. A lot of us are still working.
Mommy, can
That's
I paint? What?
You guys, I'm getting I know what I'm dealing with here, but I'm really feeling empathy for the teachers that my
Right.
children have. given the levels of attention and
This is
focus.
mommy
Can I have some- Can I have a paper?
No, it's not like painting.
This is hard.
You're like rushing.
so bad.
You can mix in the lid. I think you guys should share this paint thing though, because I only got one up here. The paint brushes are right. Where are they? Oh, in here.
Okay, you.
That's
you
not gonna
no,
be.
Yeah, this one's way better.
I don't have a thin enough brush for you to fill in
I
those.
don't care.
Okay.
This is painting.
Yeah.
Like a deep red.
It's fun to think about the colors that you might be picking too. There can be a lot of meaning and color. When I'm working with people in art therapy, I always believe that the artist knows best. The artist has the most understanding of meaning. So I don't like to project onto what people are doing. But it is really interesting to kind of self-reflect about the colors you're picking, and then to learn like, oh, a lot of times that color might invoke this emotion or that emotion. So there might be a lot of cool colors like the blues and greens and purples if you're just really wanting to feel
Come on,
calm.
this is like so messy.
There might be, well, I couldn't find any smaller brushes. We're like my art stuff at home is half packed up already for us to eventually move. So we are a little thin on art supplies. The warm colors can be more
Because you're moving is not that long.
invigorating. It just depends. I'm a pretty fiery person, so I actually feel sort of calm when I use warm colors because they match my fire.
What's that?
We're just doing the thing.
Hey, no. This is mine. Wait. This is mine.
Oh, I love it. Look at that.
Aw.
This is actually kind of, if anybody wants to have another art therapist lesson, I should say. So Elliot started with just the pink ring with the yellow circle and the hearts. That's how he started out. And he just filled it kind of randomly with the hearts, which is representative of a state of bliss and presence, which is pretty cool. But it can also, if the repeated kind of thing that you're putting into the circle gets like looks like full or too much or too disorganized, that can also kind of be how you might be feeling internally. Like there's just a lot of unknown around us right now, a lot of collective chaos and dysregulation. And then you can see how he came in as an afterthought, made it kind of a structured ring around the outside that has a lot more organization and pattern. But knowing Elliot, as you can tell by participating in this with him, he also is kind of like me and doesn't really love the structure and the boundaries. It doesn't feel right in his body, I don't think. So then he just went ahead and added outside of the ring. So you'll also notice like either you might
adding outside of me. Because it's like creative.
Yeah, it's creative, right? If you have like a more right brain way that you are, the
I'm so
structure of
bad
the
at
circle
all
might be kind of hard to deal with. But if you are the opposite of that, you might love having the circle to deal with. So
Wait, can
I'm
you
gonna
paint
go
with
some
your
blue.
fingers?
You can do whatever you want. You can paint with your fingers. You can paint with your toes if you want to.
Why did I do this also?
Well, maybe don't then. So what you'll find is that
No,
when
Mom, I said I'm done.
when there's a lot of emotion going on,
I need to look.
and there are those more regressive materials around, like paint, it can kind of take you you can get a little wild with it. So like Roma, who's very controlled, started painting outside of his mandala, and then started to dip his fingers into the water, which is a really common thing that kids will start doing if they need more internal structure. with their emotions.
What was it? So I don't know.
I think my Zoom's gonna cut off because I just have the free one, and I think it's just a 40-minute thing since we started a little bit late. So I'm gonna just keep painting. This feels really awesome. And it'd be awesome if you guys want to just hold up your pictures and share. And I think whoever holds it up, it will like put you as like the featured video for everybody. I'm not really sure, but
Thank you, Amy.
Woo!
making.
Oh,
Oh, I love
Pretty.
it, man.
I'm just starting.
Oh yeah, nice. I love it. It's like the structure and the freedom together. That's awesome. Who else? I'm gonna unmute all of you guys.
Good to see you guys.
Unmute
Don't
it.
look at all your families.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very pretty.
Feeling a little chaotic inside. It's coming through.
Totally. I mean, all of us are probably gonna have a combination.
Here, I have another one.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, show them yours.
This one's like, oh, hey.
I can go this.
Yeah, on the screen.
So messy, Mom. I know.
What are you doing?
Look, Avery. Paula, can you show us what you made? Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, what did you make?
Here, I have one with me.
Oh, wow, that's really pretty.
I made this one. Copy and messy.
Always sharing his, this is a quick draw. It's going to make it in a minute.
Oh, that's cool.
Sally, you want to show us what you made?
Why?
Oh, she might not be available right now. There's JoJo and Violet.
Hi. Hi.
What's up?
So this is called macaroni and cheese. Yeah.
You show
Are you on there too? This needs more water. Dry brushing.
I need this one. That can I use this one?
Oh, that's so awesome.
But I need these. Purple and pink and blue. Without them.
So I think that doing a practice of a quick mandala every day, which you can make it quicker, or even doing like a mandala journal where you just trace a bunch of circles in a
I
note.
got this one.
Would be a really great way to support yourself.
No.
This is crazy time. Yeah. There she is. Michelle, I want to see yours.
This is one.
Oh, look. You guys notice how many people did the, like, organizing the ring of the outer ring? Like, most of us did that, I think. That's so fascinating.
Yeah. My mom's been making us do mandalas like every day.
Oh, JoJo, that sounds horrible. I'm just
Excellent.